In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost.
And we are still recovering from our incredible trip to Chicago to do 2 live shows for our incredible fans who came out to see us. What a show.
It was fantastic. We'll be releasing that show later on at some point. Do we want to announce the date on that, or do we want to keep it close to the vest?
I think it's coming out certainly in the next couple of weeks. Something like that. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks. You know, it's kind of like we have to edit that thing, get it through run it through the processor and all that jazz. But also, it's kind of, we want to make you all wait a little bit. Those of you who couldn't come to the show, wait a little bit, and then you'll get to listen to the audio of it. It was a hell of an experience. A lot of shit went down.
Yeah. I think the secondary benefit of that is those that came, maybe hopefully in that short amount of time, forget a few things. So then they're like, oh yeah,
right,
that part. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
fucking Malort. Which is, Polish turpentine that they pass off as booze.
Oh my God,
to people.
I think by the second show, I was drunk by the second show. And I was eating tater tots and onion rings on the stage.
You don't remember it? I
do remember that. I didn't think I was that drunk, but it seemed to me okay to eat tater tots and onion rings in the middle of a show. And that seems unprofessional to me.
It's yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Did you feel I was being unprofessional as you were watching me eat tater tots?
No, I mean, look, from the start of the show, and I don't want to reveal what happened.
Right.
I guess we don't want to give away all the secrets.
Not too many.
And this is on the second show, but yeah, you were interesting from moment one. But I think it devolves pretty quickly with what we did to open and then where that went right after that, which I wish we had video of that.
Yeah,
the craziness that transpired in the room.
Yeah.
That show we're going to release them as 2 separate. One show will be out in a couple of weeks, more than likely, and then another one, we're not sure.
Yeah, the other one might be behind a Patreon wall, or the other one might be
for a time. Maybe
for a time, and then eventually we'll release it. Yeah, that's certainly a thing. And we really want to thank also thanks to Kristen Smith, Chris Alexakos, a number of other people who helped to make this happen in Chicago and rallied the troops. Because when we first started putting the tickets on sale, it wasn't looking so good, and then eventually it really skyrocketed as we got closer to Celebration.
Well, I think also too their ticketing system, it was like hieroglyphics, and it took a solid 36 to 48 hours. You remember that when I called you?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was like, all right, I finally figured it out. Here's what this means. Here's what this means, and it's like you have to subtract now from the top one and add to the second, and vice versa to get this ticket number. Just like okay. Because it didn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
It was certainly madness, yeah.
Yeah, so it looked like somebody brought it up. And they're like, asking that. Oh, so it picked up, and I was like, actually, the system didn't make a lot of sense at first. So when we thought we had only sold X, we'd done about 30% more than that.
Yeah, right.
Just
right.
oh, we were in the dark. So we're giving Chicago shit. Because we didn't sell out instantly, goddammit.
No, we wanted to. We wanted to, because London was almost sold out within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So to see it.
Yeah, then it was the final trickle for those last 20 seats to eventually sell out. That was it's all right, though. We got there.
Yeah, we did.
We eventually sold out on the first show, and I think we were 1 or 2 shy on the second show.
Yes.
But then when you toss in like all the various Collider people that showed up and hung out and
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it ended up being more people. Yeah, it was good to see everybody. It was a cool weekend with Ellis's show on top of that, and unfortunately I had to miss the Schmodown.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was, crazy nuts, 1,000 people.
Yes.
And congrats to, all the people across the board.
I'm happy to have missed it because all those people got stuck in Chicago. And they had to deal with getting back to LA. And as we're recording this, there's still some people stuck in Chicago who are leaving tonight.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, or leaving in the morning, which is insane.
Yeah, that's
So, that's the kind of situation that you're dealing with here in the weather of Chicago. And I left Saturday morning when it was sunny and beautiful and the weather was fine. And it was later on the day that everything started falling apart. And then the next morning when everybody woke up and it was like snowing all over the place.
I left at 7 o'clock. It was fine.
7 o'clook that night?
That night.
Oh, yeah.
Because the pilot came on and was like, we are getting out of here at the right time. We were like, sweet. It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
And then so I flew Alaskan. There was no volume, no audio on the in-flight movie stuff.
Yes.
And it's awesome. There's a couple hundred things to choose from.
Wow.
So she apologized to the flight attendant, tried to move us, and we were like, nah, screw it. We got movies on our phone, but it's not the same thing. It's a little bit bigger on there, and it's easier as opposed to having to look down and shit.
Right.
So she was like, well, you want any booze? You want any... Here, take some food.
Want a hooch?
Take some of this. We got extra drinks. Like, we didn't drink. We just, you want to top off on that, Diet Coke or that water or whatever the case is.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was that plus free food.
Can't argue that.
I was pretty happy with that.
Jesus,
and thankfully not stuck in Chicago. I mean, 2 days before we got there, it was like upper 60s, low 70s.
Yes.
And then when we got into town, we got there before you did. It was fuck you weather. And then after that, it was crap turning into rain on Thursday night.
Right.
But it wasn't as cold as it was on Friday or Saturday, which is weird.
Dude, I flew in the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting off that bronchitis shit that I was struggling with on the Z-Pack. I was struggling.
Yeah, no, I've had it. It's not good.
It's not. And then that afternoon, I slept maybe 4 hours in the hotel room. Maybe. Because I have a tough time sleeping in the day. I can nap. I can't sleep.
Sure.
Right? Because it's mixed with the schedule. I slept maybe 2.5 hours on the plane. But when we got to the venue, I felt the energy of being there and excitement and all that, and we set everything up. As soon as we started doing the show, the first show, great, no problem, a lot of fun, all this energy.
Sure.
It was the second show. It was sitting down for the half an hour. It was saying hi to everybody, switching clothes. All of a sudden, if for those of you who were there, I came out on the stage wearing a jacket because I was fucking freezing because I was still recovering from the cold. I could feel the cold coming through the air vents and everything like that, and through the dank room that we were in. So I immediately started to sweat. So I was like, oh, fuck. So am I getting sick again or re-sick? Or
your body's just taxed.
Yeah, it was. And dude, Saturday did nothing, not a fucking thing. I didn't get out of bed till 2:30 in the afternoon. And I slept as much as possible at night, watched the panel from episode 9, and then I stayed in bed all day, went downstairs, maybe grabbed lunch at the bar. I showered thinking I was going to go to Celebration. I grabbed lunch at the bar. 45 minutes into my lunch, I'm like, fuck this. I'm going back upstairs.
Yeah.
Went back upstairs, spent the day in the hotel room, grabbed a little bit of pizza near the end of the night, and then woke up the next morning, got the fuck out of there. But I immediately felt better by Sunday morning. So it was like, it was a transition, but that show took it all out of me, dude. Both shows rather took it all out of me, man.
Well, I mean, look, but at the same time, like, you may be haranguing yourself for your portment on the second show.
Yeah.
I think it created a unique environment.
Yeah. Well, sure.
It did. Because I can't imagine another show going like that for us.
Yeah, true.
Hypothetically,
for
sure.
many reasons.
Yeah. But it was a unique experience that only the people in the room are going to be able to regale, like, what was that like? Especially at one point, which is like, I don't even want to talk about it. I want people to listen to it whenever we release it. It's just like, what the fuck? I've done thousands of shows. Not even kidding. That's not an exaggeration. And this is a new one for me. This is something I've never done before. It was weird. I liked it. I was like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
The thing that I want to encourage people who are considering coming to our live shows, they are unique shows. Nothing is scripted.
Yeah, no, it's
just like this show. Matt and I never talk out what we're going to talk about. We give ourselves a time limit for the show, especially for something like that, because we had 2 shows back to back. We wanted to have enough time to rest between shows because we knew we were going to do a meet and greet after the first show and after the second show.
Yeah.
So we needed some time to rest. And so when you come to our shows, they're incredibly unique in that way. Every show is its own thing. There is no like, oh, they do this and they do this. Like when you listen to those NPR live shows, oh, we do this, we do this, we do this. No, there's 2-3 things that we do on the show. Everything else completely organic, completely interactive.
Yeah.
You never know where it's going to go, what's going to be brought up, who's going to yell what that sparks a conversation, or what tangent we're going to go on. But that's the genius of the shows.
Maybe we just, going forward, treat it more like rock shows, and we just take a long intermission. So instead of like the 20 to 30, we just do a 45 and just say, you know what, this ticket is $40, but you're getting 2 shows.
Yeah.
We're going to give you 3 straight hours, if not 4 hours of entertainment.
There you go.
So we'll do a first set. We'll take an intermission, regroup, eat a little food.
Yeah.
Relax a little bit, come back. It's a possibility.
Sure, I like
it's a possibility. But yeah, no, it was fun. Please, to the people that... So Toronto, Houston / San Antonio are shaping up.
Yep.
So by the time you're hearing this, the groups are live on Facebook, and it's facebook.com/groups/ top 10 Texas, and then top 10 Toronto.
Nice.
And it's the same as basically like the top 10 Chicago. We just top 10 and then boom, whatever the city is.
Right.
But it'll be posted to the Facebook group, or hit us up at the top 10 live with the number 10, the top 10 live at Gmail, and put in the subject line the city, and then let us know in the body really briefly, hey, me +1 or me solo or me +10, whatever the case is, and we will mark it, put it aside, and then once we start to get to a large enough number, which we're slowly getting there with those 2 options.
Yeah.
We're starting to look potentially for venues and dates that would work for us.
Yeah.
So those are rounding into shape. New York, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
What is going on there?
We've gotten, I think, a handful of emails.
Wow.
Just like apparently they just think that they're New York. You know what I mean? East Coast bias.
They don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to do shit. We'll just come to them because they're New York. Well, you know what? If you don't prove the demand, right now we may
I like
do.
That. I like that.
There's a town in the Midwest that is crushing it in downloads out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Do you want to say what town
Sure.
it is?
Wichita, Kansas. for some
Wichita,
reason,
Kansas.
is huge. It's on par with New York, Chicago, L.A., Seattle.
Wow.
All the biggest cities. Wow. And then here's Wichita, Kansas going, we can hang with the big boys.
Wow.
So perhaps we'll be coming to Wichita, Kansas. I don't know.
Shout out to the Wichita State Shockers. Shout out to them.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the college team that's like been killing it lately. Shout out to them. If you're at Wichita, Kansas, like, look, we'll come to Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, zero problem. Happy to do it.
Hell yeah, we sell a 200, 150-seat theater. I'm happy to go to Wichita, Kansas. I've never been to Wichita, Kansas.
You know what we do? We line up a show at an Indian casino there, and then we get you lit.
Yeah.
And do the post-show Q&A. Let's watch John Gamble, and I'll stake you with a couple bucks. I think it'd be good on craps. Just flying some Malort, and you'll be...
Oh, no Malort. I got a feeling Kansas has their own...
Yeah.
Has their own...
I'm glad I don't drink. I would have done more than likely something stupid, too.
Yeah.
Although I never drank when I performed.
Oh.
That was the rule. I waited till I got off stage.
Wow.
Yeah, some nights it was harder than others.
I'm sure.
Occasionally I would take like a beer up with me on the second show, but I never drank.
Right.
Because...
I don't know. I think it's part of the show. It's an interactive part of the show.
Sure.
I can handle it. If I was to fall down or get into some situation with somebody, like legitimate situation with somebody, I think that's where, okay, that's a problem, right? But I never do. It's always playful and fun, and the fans go along with it. And I almost lost them about nothing I did, but something I believe, which was incredible.
On the second show.
Yeah, on the second show.
The entirety of the room.
Yeah.
The entirety.
They wanted, not the entire. There were a few that came up to me afterwards in the Q&A.
I would like to know who those individuals were.
Yeah, it was a few of them afterwards in the meet and greet said, I didn't want to say anything out loud, but I agree with you. I agree with you. But I didn't want to get killed by the crowd.
I still disagree.
That's fine.
It just doesn't make sense. You violate the logic of it to close out the argument. And you're like, well, if the pivot here, then that means the pivot then is not here, where you're staking it the first time.
Right.
I understand the argument under which that's underlying of that, but I just like the foundation of that argument then is faulty on one end. So I can't buy the entire...
Only for a few seconds.
Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Earthquakes only last a few seconds.
It's true.
So they do massive destruction. But please come on. Like, it's just as much fun for us at the live show as it is for the people there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and people are, I can't remember the individual's name because I thought it was Olson that brought the banana bread, but he's the one that sent it back in the day. It was another guy that brought us the banana bread.
Yes.
Have you eaten it?
Yes, I have.
That's almost as good as my mom's.
Yes.
That's exactly the style that nothing against Olson's.
Nope.
Those were excellent too, but this is so close to my mom's. I'm like, this is a winner right here.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I remember his face, and he was wearing a black shirt with, I think, just a white lettering and a pattern on the front of it.
Okay.
Really minimalistic.
Okay.
He was off stage left on the second show.
All right.
Fuck, I can't remember his name though. I'm shit with names.
Well, my girlfriend tasted the banana bread. Remember I mentioned that she makes the banana bread at the house.
Yeah.
She liked this banana bread a lot.
Yeah, it was good.
So you got to give it a props. Like if you want to send us some of that banana bread, again, please feel free.
Oh,
we would
sure,
love to receive
sure.
it.
It was
and eat
fantastic.
on the show while we count on a list or
It
something.
made it, I ate half of it the night I got home,
Okay.
that Thursday night.
Right.
And then I ate half of what was left the next night, and then I saved the rest for last night.
Wow.
Dude, I love banana bread.
Yeah, clearly.
That I was
I
like,
still have,
shit, I
like,
wish
a
I had the other
majority
half.
left.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
I should have brought the rest.
I made that Thursday night. I took off like a 1.25 inch slice.
Yeah.
Finished that, and then I had another like 1 inch slice. It was good, man. My mom's, the difference is she underbakes it ever so slightly for me. So the top middle, there's this reservoir of it's not fully cooked, and for some reason, since I was a kid, I fucking love it.
Dude, that's fantastic.
It is
Barely
so good.
cooked shit is great.
Yeah,
bread
just like
wise.
everything else around it, the
yeah.
sides, the edges, all that, but the top has this extra moisture, and it's just like, oh, this is so good.
I respect that
That was
a
the
lot.
only difference. But we also got Blu-rays and bobbleheads
You did
and
get
scrapbook and
Oh, the scrapbook was great.
yeah, cue cards to sign,
Yeah.
and like all kinds of. And everybody was so nice. Like,
We
hey,
did, yeah.
do you mind if I take a picture? Yeah, I will happily take a picture.
Of course.
Shake your hand.
Right? Why wouldn't we? That was always what was confusing to me. People were like, "Is it okay if we?" I'm like, "No, you guys came to us, came to
Exactly.
the show."
We're here for you.
Exactly.
For you.
Exactly.
The next night at Ellis's show, so there were two twins.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were twins. And this guy came over, and he was super shy but nice, and just said, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. I just want to come over and shake your hand." And literally, he slowly backed away and just was like, he was so shy, that was all he could do.
Right.
And I was like, "Well, it's nice to meet you," as he kind of went back to his place in line.
Yeah.
And then I went back to talking, and then turned around, and his twin brother, who I didn't know existed, in a different T-shirt, standing right there. I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm that guy's twin." I was like, "Otherwise, that's a great fucking joke." But he's like, he's super shy. You have no idea what it means that he just got to come up and shake your hand. Something
Wow.
akin to that. And I was like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
I'm just an asshole that talks
Yeah.
on a podcast."
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I think that's what's one of the best things, Matt, is that we get to talk to people who we had no idea the effect we have on them, and we have no idea how much we help them get through their day. Or
Yeah,
like
the
so
one
many
guy
people.
at
Yeah,
the-
the one young kid who came and talked to us at the end, near the end.
Yeah.
How and we don't want to add him out, of course, because
Exactly.
it's his
He's got his
personal
own-
thing. But he told us how much we like helped him through what he's going through and the stuff he's suffering with. Because we both talked about our own personal struggles with stuff, and it really helps him. And so, like, all jokes aside, that's an incredible thing to be
It
able
is.
to do.
We've gotten those several times, and people send it going, "Hey, I don't know if you care." Just like, man, when you read something, like I remember the first one that we got was from Fergal McClement.
Oh, yes.
Clement,
Yes.
the guy that went blind.
Yes.
And eventually regained all in one, and I think most in the other. And Fergal,
Yeah.
I apologize if I just screwed that up.
Well, look, he didn't come to our live show, so
Yeah.
So
But-
fuck him.
I think he had another engagement,
He
like a
did.
wedding or something.
He did.
Dude, yeah. He wrote a book of the experience and then sent it to us. And was like, you
It's
guys-
madness.
But he's just like, you have no idea. You have no idea what you meant to me having someone to listen to and just take my mind off my troubles.
Yep.
And like every time you meet someone like that, you're like, man, this is crazy. And it's great to hang out with people who have the same passion for film.
Yeah.
Or they'll ask you, do you really feel that way about blah, blah, blah? And then we have a discussion about, and it's just like talking to you or anybody else. It's
Yep.
just like they've thought through their opinion and you sit and listen to it. Sometimes they can sway you. Sometimes you're just like, nah, man, I'm not deviating.
Yep.
But it's healthy. It's fantastic. Walk through the Millennium Park on Saturday, just killing time before our flight, and this
Yeah.
dude came up out of nowhere. It's like, hey, what's going on? Blah blah blah. I'm going to the Schmodown tonight. And I was
Yeah.
like, what's going? Hey, nice to meet you. Out of nowhere. But it was just nice, and I'm sure had you been healthy enough walking around, people would have done the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, if I'd gone to Celebration
Yeah.
that day, I probably would have stopped and seen a few fans just walking around. It's always a great thing when fans come up and say, "Dude, I was in the fucking City Target in Chicago.
Oh, sure.
Walking around buying some shit for like buying a Motrin and something else that my Kaiser doctor recommended that I take to help me get over the last hump of this thing."
Mm-hmm.
And this kid walked up and he just was like, "Hey, Outlaw Nation," really loud. And I was like, "Oh shit." It was in the middle of Target. It was so loud. I was like, ugh. And
Yeah.
so I turned around. I'm like, hey, I didn't see anybody. And I started walking. He comes up. He goes, hey, I didn't, I just want to say I'm a big fan. You're my favorite competitor, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And I took a picture with him. But, like, they're incredibly nice. And I love it when we meet fans.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
Yeah, unless I'm in the shitter taking a shit, like, I'm happy to meet you. Fans are weird. You never know. I've heard some stories.
But I think once you go to the vulgarity of shitter, we all know what you're doing in there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So just to then iterate the point of taking a shit.
Oh, gotcha. Fair
is
enough.
a little like excessively redundant.
I apologize.
I'm in the shitter taking a shit. Well, wouldn't you call it shitter?
Well, some people piss in the shitter. That's certainly
Yeah,
possible.
but I don't think they're outside of hillbillies. They don't just straight call it the shitter at all times.
Fair, good point.
It's just,
Shitter's
you're
full park.
expressing a very specific idea by calling it that in everyday conversation. At least my assumption.
That's true. It's true. Can I give a shout out to Heather Roche and Ray Roche?
Sure.
Because they're the ones that brought the what a cue card of you and what you say.
Yeah, and then boom.
Yeah, and then boom. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that
they
was
wrote
cool.
that whole thing down. And you apologized to Ray because you had said he'd missed a couple of words.
Well, because
you read it.
the second when he was holding it up,
Yeah.
I was reading through it quick, but then I was also going through it in my mind.
Yes, comparing.
Because I kind of already started the spiel, and he held it up. I was like, oh, the sign.
Yeah.
And then I went through and I was like, that's not right. And then afterwards, I posted it and I read it, and I was like, you know what? I apologize.
Yeah.
You were 100%, but it's also in the moment, and
Yeah.
in the context of what transpired over the course of 2 shows.
Yep.
That was a lesser evil amongst.
Oh
them.
no, absolutely.
But yeah, I apologize. I'm sure he, on some level, appreciated me saying you fucked it up, man.
Yeah, of course
one
he did.
job.
He enjoyed it. Jeremy was great too. Jeremy coming in for me, dude. Jeremy is like my favorite. Quickly becoming my favorite fan.
One of the nicest guys.
Yeah, because he's just got a smile on his face all the time.
My parents sought him out. Did he come?
Oh, really?
Legitimately, my mom
That's
was like,
awesome.
"Did he come? Is he coming?" And I was like, "I don't know if he bought tickets." And then suddenly there were 2 reserved seats.
Yeah, I saw his name.
Yeah.
but I didn't know if he was coming.
Me either, because Hasso bought 2 seats for someone else,
right.
as a gift. And
Yeah.
thank you to Matt Hasso. That was
Yeah.
really
Thank you,
sweet
Matt.
of you to do.
Yeah.
So and then to see him, there were so many are putting faces like Eric Grebner getting to meet him, the guy that gave
Yes,
the relist.
yes.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm Eric
was so
Grebner."
awesome.
And I was like, "The realist," but the look on his face of like, "Oh, you know."
Yeah, you know who I am.
Yeah.
You remember me, yeah.
I remember that happened with Ashley Prowse in London.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, "Oh, hey, Matt, I'm Ashley," and I was like, "Prowse?" Because how many Ashleys do we
Right.
have? They're Patreon members.
Yeah.
He's the only one that I
That
know
we
of.
thought were women or men.
Yeah, and it turns out he actually had to correct us. I'm actually a dude.
Yeah.
I remember it came up on a Thunderdome or something.
Right.
But then he said later on, I was like, "Oh, my girlfriend was pretty impressed. You actually remember my name." I was like, "There aren't too many Ashleys." But not a problem, bro. Like, I am happy. I'm happy every time I can remember someone's name.
Yep.
I'll remember all your faces for the rest of my life.
Oh.
The names I'm pretty shit on.
Yeah, that's kind of how we are. Shout out to Matt Lundstrom, who brought the Oreos that we used.
Sure.
The Game of Thrones Oreos. I want to give him a little sweet shout out. Kristen Smith, of course, but more for her husband, not really Kristen,
Sure.
because they didn't bring the fucking baby.
Yeah, they didn't bring the baby.
That was bullshit.
It was a lot of bullshit.
You bring the
and then
baby.
she was like, "Well, if you come down and
If you come find me
on
at Star Wars,
Friday,
you can meet at my
Yeah,
house. No,
trust me.
That's not how this works.
you should bring the baby because this will be the highlight of that baby's life."
Yes.
Coming, enjoying a vulgar show before she can understand what this is.
Very true.
Because 18 years from now, I can't imagine we'll be doing this.
No, who knows?
Who knows?
It'll become something else.
18 years is a long time.
That's very true. There's a lot of top 10 lists.
Yeah, we will be old as shit at that point. And why would she be listening to 2 guys in their... I'll be in my late 50s and you'll be in your 60s at
That's
that point.
true. Thanks, buddy.
I'm in my late 50s. It's not like I'm lording over you going, I'm 36. I wish.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many. Alex Zakos. Alex Zakos is
Alex
girlfriend.
Zakos was great. Oh, Alex Zakos was great. Alex Zakos, don't mess that up. That girl is beautiful. She is gorgeous. Don't you mess it up, Chris.
Yeah, there's so many people to thank, and we can't thank all of you.
Yeah.
But
Dan Nye was there.
Dan Nye
pretty
and his
boy
buddy,
Dan.
he brought a buddy with
He
him.
did. He brought a
Drove
theater
in.
buddy with him.
He'll be moving out here sometime within the next year-ish.
They were both such actors. It cracked me up.
My wife asked if the other one was actor, and I was like, well, I flipped through their Instagram. I didn't know if he was or wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was like, this picture alone leads me to believe that more than likely they're both hams for sure.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. His friend, he was just like, I enjoyed your show. It was very interesting the way he delivered things. So they both were very actory, which I really liked because I remember those days.
Well, I know I did a force choke photo for him with me and Dan.
Nice.
So if you're not a listener, I'd like you to delete that from Instagram. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
That's a one-off. You just came the one time. You know what? I treated you as all these other good people.
Yes.
You're not as good in my book.
Yeah, that's fair.
You need to take that down. Copyright.
Yeah.
Top 10 Live, 2019, Chicago.
One last shout out to Evan Bistrom, who was really great, who came really early to see the show. So it was great to see him, and he had a lot of fun. And Mike Shea.
Yeah.
That was great to see Mike. I'd never met Mike. He runs my the Outlaw page, and he helps out on our top 10 page. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
What a positive dude, positive energy, and he's got a podcast himself, so just great stuff.
Yeah, and then there was I'll try and remember the names that I can. Henry Sanchez?
Right.
And then Dwayne, what is Dwayne's last name? I believe that's his name. I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
Ended up talking to the two of them after the show for a long time, and there was Andy Merriweather came over from London.
Dwayne Fernandez? Is that who you mean? No.
In the military?
I don't know. He doesn't say here.
In his profile pic, I think it's him running with that not camo, but the dusty brown shirt type of thing.
Yeah, Henry Sanchez was great.
Yes.
He wore a shirt.
Yeah, hung out all night. Was so kind to any fan that wanted a picture. He's like, I'll gladly take it. Do you want it vertical or horizontal? And then just kind of did both so that they had options. It's like, that's really nice.
Yeah, Dwayne Burke.
Yeah.
Who always comes to our shows.
He does.
Dwayne's great.
And he bought tickets for others in London. And there's a guy, I can't remember his name, but he's moving to the Canary Islands. And ended up talking about that for 20 minutes. He's originally from Canada, but he can't. When we're talking about going was sometime late August into into September, think of that 6-7 week area somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Keep that mental space aside.
Hey.
But he'll be gone at that point. I was like, maybe we'll make it there before then. I can't promise you anything, man.
You never know.
But he's moved to the Canary Islands. And Merriweather, you might enjoy. He has like a YouTube page where he does
what?
Show tunes, but not like, he'll do like Hamilton themed shows, and he's had London cast members on with him. Wow. And sometimes there's like improv-y songs with it that he's writing on the fly and whatnot.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you're just like, holy shit, man.
I'm down.
So Mr. Andy Merriweather, check him out. I want to say it's like A Merriweather or something along those lines.
Sounds about right.
But it was just like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It was A Merriweather 10. With the number 10. You can hit him up there. But it was like, oh, that's really interesting. I remember Greg Olson, he had a YouTube channel where it's like he goes back and looks at a year's films from history and shit. Just like, I love hearing about you people creating content too. And I'll go check it out if you let us know.
Sure.
We're a community. So try and support as best we can.
Yeah. And thanks to everybody who's been getting the word out about this show and about this feed and tweeting about it, retweeting about it. Like, keep telling people about this feed. Go on to the Schmodown page, the Movie Trivia Schmodown page, and tell people about the show. Let people know that it's got its own feed now. It's jumped to where it's jumped, and come sign up with us so they can listen to this content. Because we're building and building and building more and more as we do more of these live shows. Want to bring more and more people. Thanks to everybody who brought a new person. Some people brought their girlfriend or boyfriend or friend for the first time to listen to us, and we've never disappointed.
No. We will convert a fan live. That's really easy.
Yeah.
Unless they just hate movies, and then why did you bring them? Yeah. Even if they have a passing understanding, not even. Because my wife only watches movies with me. She never really goes back and watches on her own.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't know about the movies you're talking about, but the banter in between and whatnot, it's enough to sustain, and I'm engaged the whole time.
Right.
And I was like, well, engaged? You better be fucking better than that. I did not say that.
No, it's right.
But yeah, and it's all thanks to the people that support us on Patreon. And some of the content we're talking about, we're going to put up as Patreon exclusive. We're going to work towards that as a thank you, because we're doing these live shows and have T-shirts and merch and having our own solo feed and all that jazz. Again, thanks to the support from patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Anything you want to do there to help us out, we really appreciate it. If you don't, please just download every week.
Yep.
Listen, enjoy, share it around, do whatever you can. Give us a rating on iTunes.
Yeah.
We appreciate every little bit that you can do, even if it's as minimal as just listening to the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you're willing to do, and we can't say thank you enough.
Agreed.
And our Patreon, our show today is thanks to Patreon.
Yep. Yeah.
So thank you to Mr. Robert Haley.
Yeah.
For submitting a nice list. Babo.
He suggested top 10 3-hour films in honor of Avengers Endgame coming out because it was announced as a 3-hour, 2-minute film. We've done enough jibber jabber.
Sure.
Let's get to it. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Okay.
I will soldier through.
Let's do it. Yeah, Matt's a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I'm trying to believe in my heart that I didn't give him my sickness because we didn't swap any kind of spit. So hopefully.
I mean, it is a chest congestion.
Oh, son of a bitch.
But I mainly just feel tired.
Okay.
I just feel run down.
Okay.
But I think my sleep schedule is all sorts of. We didn't fall asleep till 5 in the morning after Thursday's show.
Right.
Slept till 1. Then the next night tried to make ourselves go to bed as early as we could because we had to get up to get out of our place.
Right.
And so then didn't sleep on the plane, and then getting up yesterday, I slept okay. It's just I think it's mostly just fatigue.
Okay. So I was washing my hands a lot. I wanted to make sure I didn't give anybody anything.
But we also shook 400 or 500 hands.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
There we go.
A lot of hands.
God damn it, Mike Shea.
Happy to have the sickness. It was worth it in my book.
Agreed. All right, Matt, how does the show work?
Once we set a topic, or a fan does, once again at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Thank you, Robert Haley. Babo! Then John and I go our individual ways and create personal top 10 lists. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom. Love it. All right. Start us off, my friend.
I'm just going to jump right in.
Yeah.
I imagine we're going to have a decent amount of crossover.
I hope so.
But also some that, I can already think of one that you're going to have that I don't have.
Okay.
Just because I haven't seen it yet still.
All right, fair.
But I did end up watching a couple movies for this.
Wow.
I set it aside knowing we were going to do it. I was like, all right, I really need to see this film. I've been holding it off.
Okay.
Perfect fucking week to do it.
Okay.
So 10 for me is the right stuff.
Oh, great choice. Do I have it on my just off the off the edges?
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I was surprised at how many 3-hour films I liked.
I know. You could easily do. It's like you could talk me into. Sure, you could put that one over Right Stuff.
Yeah.
I like Right Stuff because it's kind of an impossible story on some level to really accurately tell.
Yeah.
Because it spans so many years, so many astronauts, so much of the program, the politics of NASA, getting the funding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the Cold War around it, and some people fault it because it doesn't really have kind of an arc, you know what I mean? It's just like it's a straight drive through towards the end. But I don't mind that because of the feat of pulling it off.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and it's interesting because you learn types of things that you didn't know. Now you juxtapose that with First Man.
Right.
And suddenly Buzz Aldrin wasn't made to look like quite the douche he was in First Man. And he's not really a douche, but he's the guy that has no filter.
Yeah.
A few times just says something, and they're all like, a little soon, dude. And he's like, we're all thinking it. And you're like, it's kind of an asshole thing, but we are all thinking it, sure. We just don't want to acknowledge that yet. People died, goddammit. Respect the dead.
Yeah.
But when you have that many people, inevitably somebody's not going to, and that's whatever. So just the feat, plus the cast across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a young Ed Harris. You got a young
Dennis
Quaid.
Yeah.
The guy that goes on to Tremors, can't pull his name.
Oh, yeah, Sam Shepard. Or no, Sam Shepard's in it.
He plays Chuck Yeager.
Scott Glenn. Right.
Bunch
of guys. Jeff Goldblum's in this thing.
Yeah, he's one of the FBI guys.
Yeah.
Harry Shearer's the other.
Yeah,
going around trying to recruit.
Yeah. A lot of wives are in this thing, too. The blonde woman from... Fred Ward's in this thing.
Fred Ward is?
Yeah, his
he plays
wife.
Gus Grissom.
His wife is the lady from Alien. The blonde from Alien.
That freaks out when the blood comes spurting out.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, I mean, all these actors, right when a bunch of them are about to break, or some of them are kind of newly established-ish, and they're all giving solid performances across the board. You're playing American heroes.
Yes.
So there's a certain ideal that some of them have to aspire to and to achieve in order to pull this off. But it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything about the early space program, this is a nice, this, I'd say from the Earth to the Moon.
Yes.
And then
Fantastic.
First Man after that, but First Man solely focuses on one. I think the others kind of tell the breadth of more of a story.
If anyone wants to catch that Apollo 11 documentary, I don't know if it's still showing in theaters. Definitely go see that. It's incredible. See it when it comes out on the streaming sites. Also, there's a 4-hour documentary which I discovered as I was sitting in my hotel room on a Saturday. This past Friday on PBS. It's called Chasing the Moon, and it's supposed to be incredible about the 1969 mission to the moon, Apollo 11 mission to the moon.
Yeah.
4-hour doc with all kinds of unseen footage that has been remastered, all kinds of audio that you haven't heard before, incredible new score.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
I'm in.
as soon as I discovered that, it's on PBS. So it's either on their app or you can watch it online at their place.
I want to say I can get it on Amazon then.
Yeah, probably.
Amazon has other PBS programs.
Oh, yeah, good.
I think they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Nova, so maybe they've got that too.
The PBS has an app on the Roku, so I'll watch stuff on there all the time that I don't watch actually as it's showing on PBS. I'll wait till it shows up on the Roku app, and I'll watch it on there. It's great. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm in on.
Yeah, the space shit is fucking great.
Especially when you start thinking about I remember reading years later, like say 90s, the random Texas Instrument calculator that everybody had.
Yeah.
You had one of two versions that had more calculating power than the actual computer that ran the spaceship and lander.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Now, what you're asking that computer to do is utterly different, but at the same time, the computational power, and I don't know if maybe it was a graphing calculator instead of just the straight Texas Instruments standard scientific, but I believe it was the scientific because I had one at the time for math class.
Right.
And they're like, oh, actually, this is, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah.
They got there on less than, the average SD card has more memory than that thing.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah,
Jesus.
the walls are paper thin. That's where it's sometimes when I don't, I believe we went to the moon. I'm not one of the conspiracy theorists. When they start piling up, like, look at all these hurdles. Really, we did this in the 60s? Like, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But there's no way the government could keep a secret like that.
All these people?
All these people.
Please.
Thousands of people for 50 years?
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
No.
Never going to happen.
Agreed.
So it's just like it invalidates. All your JFK ones make more sense to me than this.
That's fair.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just like, we left shit up there.
Yeah.
People are going to send probes. We will find it again. So we're going to be exposed as what? Asshole liars? Never going to happen.
Right. Not America.
Yeah. Not on something like this. We built our identity for the past 50 years on. We are the next explorers.
Exactly.
All that stuff.
Exactly. What's your number 9?
Number 9. Can't believe it was this low. Spartacus.
Oh, my God. Right off the edge. Right off the edge.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it didn't make my list. I couldn't believe it didn't make my list, but it didn't make my list. There were 2 or 3 that didn't make my list that I thought for sure were going to make my list, but as the more recent 3-hour films,
a lot of them are good.
Yeah, so I've been like, well, I had to move these down, but Spartacus is a great choice. I love that movie.
It is, and it was surprising it was this low, just the rewatchability.
Yeah.
I will watch all the others above it.
That's fair.
More than I will watch it, more than likely. Because I've seen Spartacus a few times.
Yeah. Spartacus.
And it's another history delving into the past. I believe it's the Second Servile War.
Yes.
Where the slaves rise up and they didn't know about the first, Servile War.
Yeah.
Because all those slaves got more than likely killed. You can't spread that dissension anymore. So you got to fucking nip that in the bud. We need to go conquer more lands. We need slaves. We got to kill off thousands right now.
Right.
It's just crazy to think of now the realities of the day-to-day of that.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Jesus, so many questions spin out. So this is about, another uprising there and going back. And obviously it's fictionalized history. Mm-hmm. We have no idea what anything was said between any of the vast majority. They may have specific governmental decrees. This happened on this date and this date and this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But there's not like there was a stenographer following them around.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take some of it with a grain of salt, just like other movies.
Yeah.
Like Braveheart. It's like you can't do. It was so long ago.
Yeah. Right.
And
don't be such a hard ass about it.
Yeah. So I have to enjoy. They're doing the best they can.
Right.
But Kirk Douglas with all the swagger and machismo.
That chin is.
It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
It'd be tough to cast that today.
Yeah. Well, they did that Spartacus Blood and Sand series on
I tried
Stars. Yeah, it's not my jam.
No.
Totally not my jam.
No, it was too fucking 300 sold a lot of movie tickets. So let's do a scaled down version of that. Everybody has 12-pack abs.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
They would be in leaner shape, but they don't eat enough more than likely to carry that kind of muscle mass.
Right.
they're slaves.
And everybody loves a doggy style. Everybody loves a doggy style on that show.
Yeah,
It's Summer Jam.
I don't think I watched enough of it to know that's
Oh, really? Okay, fair.
something that's emblematic of the show. It was, I gave it like 4 or 5 episodes and then I was out.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Kirk Douglas, early him. I mean, just walking around, just broad-chested, and you buy it somehow.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And all this, and it's Kubrick in a way that you don't, he deviates from. There's not this kind of meticulous workmanship.
Yeah.
Like there are I'm not saying he wasn't a meticulous worker, but this one is like very, I want to say meat and potatoes, so to speak.
Yeah.
There aren't the artistic reaches that he does later because he doesn't have full control.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of Douglas's show.
Yeah. And Kubrick was brought in because there was another director to replace another director, and that's how because they worked together on Paths of Glory.
Yeah,
and so that's why I brought him in.
And this is like the last time Kubrick didn't have control.
Right, exactly.
This launched him outside of.
Yeah,
and they got Trumbo to write it.
Yeah,
a blacklisted writer.
Exactly.
It's got a great story behind it.
Totally.
So yeah, if you've never seen it, please go watch Spartacus. It's more than worth the watch at least once.
Laurence Olivier, Peter Ustinov, Tony Curtis. A lot of great people in this movie.
Yeah.
And Gene Simmons playing the love interest. All right, what's your number 8?
For a half beat, it sounded like you said Gene Simmons.
It's Gene Simmons. Jean.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking Kiss.
Oh, right. Not Gene.
And a young Gene Simmons. And I'm like, what?
Hey, Spartacus.
And my number 8 is not going to be on your list.
Okay.
And that's fine. The Two Towers.
It is not on my list, no. Let me spoil it for everybody. I have no goddamn Lord of the Rings on my...
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to.
Yeah.
But of the 3-hour...
surprise.
This is my favorite of the 3.
The two... Right, we've spoken about this. How much you like this one more than Return of the King or Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, I would go this, Fellowship, and then if I have to begrudgingly watch... this King, and if I have to begrudgingly watch Fellowship, I will. I just rather get into the fucking story as opposed to watching the story build for 2.5, 2:45.
Dude, you'll get a kick out of this. Sean Astin was in the studio today being interviewed by Frosty. He walks out, he finished the interview. We have to walk in for movie talk, and there he is. Nicest guy in a fucking place.
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel terrible now that I don't like any of the movies that he's in, and I feel terrible.
Oh no, I can't say that.
We don't like Rudy.
I love Goonies.
You love Goonies. I do not like Goonies.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Toy Soldiers. I really do.
Oh, Toy Soldiers.
It's not a good movie, but for some reason, that to me is I never cared for the what is it, Taps?
Yeah. Oh, Taps. Right.
Tom Cruise.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Yeah. That one was just too much like melodramatic.
It was
horseshit, and just like I'm not buying this. For some reason, the Toy Soldiers were terrorists take over a boarding school. It's fucking great. I love
Patrick
about
Stewart
it.
in that one or no?
Patrick Stewart?
Who is the one in that?
No. I want to say it. Shit, I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
But I want to say it's the villain he was also in Total Recall. He's one of those guys. I remember in V for Vendetta.
Okay.
Bald, with the horseshoe. He's got a mean mug of a face.
Okay. All right.
Great actor. He plays a villain. I think he's the head because they have his secondary is this dude with dyed like bright blonde hair.
Okay.
And I can't picture him in anything else, but he sticks out in this.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I got a soft spot for that.
Wow. Louis Gossett Jr.'s up in this motherfucker.
Okay. Is he a teacher or like the principal? Or
he's one of the
He works
masters.
at the school.
Yeah. How funny, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a good movie.
No, but you got to think for it.
I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, can't deny it.
Caught me at the right age on whatever one of the pay channels when I was like 12, and I saw it a bunch of times. Just like, it's a movie. It's better than anything else that's playing on the 20-some-odd other cable channels.
Yeah. My girlfriend's convinced that I just do not like him. And I'm like, I can't. And we went through all his stuff, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess maybe I don't like a lot of his stuff. I don't understand why.
What else? I liked him on Stranger Things, but that's not a movie.
That's not really. Yeah, right. He did Goonies. What?
He was fine at 50 First Dates.
Memphis Belle, I liked. Oh, he was funny as shit. 51st Dates.
He was in Memphis Belle.
Yeah, he played Sergeant Richard Rascal Moore. Encino Man. I like Encino Man.
Yeah, I don't mind Encino Man.
Courage Under Fire. He was in Courage Under Fire.
Don't remember him in that. It's all Damon and Meg Ryan and
right. Or the Lord of the Rings, 51st Dates.
He did a bunch of Sandler ones.
He did.
And those are just kind of hit and miss because Sandler,
Yeah, he was in
I like
Click.
what I like of his.
He was in Click.
I don't mind that one.
Yeah. Yeah. See, not too much else, man. It gets into the late 2000s. It's just one-offs as you go through. Franklin and Bash, one-off the TV shows. So, and then he gets into voiceover stuff. A lot of voiceover stuff. So, he's done his thing. Lego Dimensions, Minecraft, Sophia the First, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, he's made his business.
Oh, you know that fucking...
Man, Stranger Things, yeah. Justice League Action, yeah. What's
the
that?
Lego thing reminded me of, on Brea where that Lamps Plus is, because there's the casting of...
Oh, yeah. At the Petco, by the Petco, yeah.
Right up the street from there, there's that junkyardish, antique.
Yes.
So they're going out of business.
Oh, shit.
For the first time ever, my wife and I went there yesterday. I've walked past that 150
Yeah, of
times.
course.
There's Room 5 and Acme are right up the street. I've done a bunch of shows up there, and you see it all the time.
Uh-huh.
The only thing, they had like two things. The rest, it was so much junk, I couldn't believe because they've been there 27 years.
Wow.
I don't know how you've sustained it, to be perfectly honest. Unless you just got a sweetheart deal and rent all that time ago, and this place was just trash because there's no way you are generating enough money to pay current rent prices. Good for you. They're getting kicked out of their lease like the place is getting bought. I think they're turning into a Starbucks. But they had
Another one.
Yeah. They had a huge like Han Solo Lego. It was honestly... Had it been better, but it was a neon type of thing.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't a good neon. It was
Gotcha.
kind of slapdash.
Right.
But it was an official. It was.
Wow.
But a lot of shit has just been sitting out in the sun. So it's faded and it's a little beat up and all that stuff. But I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder what they want for that. Everything's 20 to 50% off.
Oh, wow.
But it's not good enough to put up. If it was in pristine or the neon was better,
Yeah.
I might have bought it because you could put it online and eventually get something for it.
Oh, good call. I probably won't be able to do that.
Why not?
I'm not good at selecting stuff that people want to buy.
This just has...
I don't have the...
It's got Lego. It's got Star Wars. It's a big
it's-
neon.
It seems obvious, is what you're saying.
Well, just somebody put it downstairs in their movie theater or in their gaming room or something like that. If it was a really cool neon, 100%. You could make a good profit margin on that.
All right, fair.
You have to do a local pickup only kind of thing because to ship
yeah.
that would be bananas.
Yeah. I'm trying to sell my 3D TV, and no one seems to be wanting interested in it. So.
Well, because nobody bought 3D TVs when they came out. So there's no demand for it.
I guess not.
There's no demand. So if there's no demand in the primary market, there's no demand in the secondary market. Unless you find a collector that does not have that specific 3D TV.
Especially because some of those studios are now coming out saying they're not going to make 3D material
Exactly.
anymore.
They tried it. They'll try it again in 10 years.
I guess so.
Yeah, you got fucked with that.
I did. What's your number 8?
That was my 8 was Two Towers.
okay,
So that's the
so-
best. Like I like the Helm's Deep battle at the end.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I like the arc of the characters within that because it's like a struggle the entire time. Whereas the end of the third one, it just becomes a fait accompli eventually once like the Ghost Riders come in and just all the dominoes. And when they don't, then the Eagles fly in and save the day.
Right.
So it's just like it feels incomplete to me. Whereas Two Towers, it's tenuous.
Okay.
You don't know exactly where it's going, and I appreciated that about it.
Yeah, respect.
What do you got at 10?
Giant, which is one of my favorite James Dean movies.
Not on my list.
Yeah, James Dean, Rock Hudson, Elizabeth Taylor, fantastic film. It's one that, for whatever reason, man, these are all our personal lists. This is a 3-hour film that I will watch all the fucking time. It's on TCM all the fucking time. If I flip on it, or I will sit and watch it. We did it on the Cinephiles with Steve, and it was just like, it's a film. I know people like East of Eden or they like Rebel Without a Cause. This is my favorite James Dean movie. It shows what the future was possibly going to be for this actor, and the tragedy of the fact that this is the last performance you get from him on film. It just breaks your heart even more. And the message of the story, which is, like, progress is always marching forward. It's up to you whether you want to catch up to it or not.
Yeah,
and
ride
what
the
that
wave.
means. Exactly. And what that means, both positive and negative. And I like that. And it never turns off. I think George Stevens directed it. It never pulls any punches. It never goes in a certain way just to give you a happy ending. Actually, it doesn't necessarily have a happy ending, which I really appreciated about it as well. So that's why it's my number 10. All right, my number 9 is The Deer Hunter.
That's...
Is that a punt?
Oh, no, that was like number 11.
Oh, right off your list.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Military stuff, war stuff, Vietnam stuff.
When it gets to that, I'm
Yeah.
100% on board. I think they spend... So, to me, yes, it's a 3-hour
all that time
movie.
beforehand.
Yeah. I don't think you need that, at least through these eyes.
Okay,
now,
fair. Yeah.
Because they're at the wedding for 30 minutes
Yeah,
solid.
they are.
35 minutes.
Laying
And that's-
their relationships,
Yeah, it's an hour before we get to the war. But I'm
Right.
saying once they get to the wedding, that's the 30, 35 minutes right before they go off, and then it just
Yeah.
immediately switches.
Yeah.
So it's like you could really cut down. We do not need to be at the wedding for 30 minutes. We don't. You could get to all this stuff much quicker. But it's also like
Yeah, right.
grew up in a different age type of like, let's kind of
but it's zip it
a little bit
Yeah.
because the tension later on is fantastic.
Oh yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
The De Niro walking stuff with the Russian roulette.
Yeah, but before that, when he has to convince him,
Oh yeah.
we need more bullets, and he's like, "What the fuck you mean?" You know.
Yeah.
And the fact that Walken is gone after that.
Yep.
That's the point at which he twists, and he's just like, gone to the ether, man.
Yeah. It's a tragedy all the way around. And the fact that he ends up back there and finds him again there because this guy never moved on from that moment. Like he never moved on emotionally or mentally from that situation. And he comes back to it over and over again. You're like, Jesus Christ, how long has this guy been doing this? You know, that where he has to come back and find him in Vietnam after the war has ended. It's madness, man. And the whole story, everything with Meryl Streep, John Cazale, of course, fantastic. The late John Cazale, fantastic in that. All of it around, like I think it's a great story for me. And I'm not the biggest fan of Vietnam movies. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Only when they're done really well do I like them, and that was one. And Apocalypse Now is the other one. Those are, you know, I'm not a Platoon guy. I don't think Platoon holds up much. The Oliver Stone one, any of those other ones, Hamburger Hill, any of those, they don't.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, none of those hold up for me the way that Deer Hunter does, and the way that Apocalypse Now do.
Well, those other ones, I know I expressed this point for 4th of July when we talked about it on the 3 times we've done Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
but it's come up at some point. I didn't live through Vietnam.
Right.
So I don't need to tear the scab off a wound that doesn't exist.
Right.
And a lot of these movies are that of like, we need to understand as a society the cathartic kind of understanding of what we asked our citizens to do and how this war was pointless and it was built upon a lie.
Yeah.
What is it? The Tonkin offensive or whatever. The Bay
offense.
of the Bay of where Johnson said
the Gulf
we
of
got
Tonkin.
Gulf of Tonkin.
You're right.
Where we got attacked, but it actually didn't transpire like that.
Yeah.
But it was just a lie to tell the American people to get us into this war.
Yes, yeah.
That our government wanted to be in.
What a shock.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't live through that. So some of it sometimes I don't mind. So this or Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Or I like going back
Full Metal I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you like the first half.
I like the first half. It's still Vietnam, but it's like the first half.
Yeah. And I understand everybody's
Yeah.
problem with it being, I like the duality of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of those others, like Platoon is fine. Hamburger Hill was just, it's kind of like this genre's hot.
Yeah.
And we're pumping out a bunch of these right
Yeah.
now. It happens. World War II had that run.
Yeah. The inner city things and Boys in the Hood. That
That had a run.
Yeah,
once,
yeah.
like,
Menace Society, South Central.
right now, I'm sure there'll be a run on Black Horror. Because after Get Out and Us,
Yes.
oh hey, and Black Panther, more black-led movies.
Yep.
But it's like, oh, that's hot right now. That's how Hollywood works.
Yep.
So apparently there was a post on Facebook. What things do we say all the time? And I was about to say one, which is, baby, if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
I saw that one.
Yeah, I saw that one on. It's like, do I say that one a lot?
Oh yeah. We both have our things that we say over and over again. I mean, we've been doing the show for 3 years.
Well,
We're
look,
going to repeat things.
Only a maximum size of one's vocabulary.
Yeah.
It can go up and go down.
I think it was done out of love. It was a lot of fun.
100%. I love reading it. I was like, I must say that more often than I think. And another one, I was like, 100%. I say that word too much.
That was great. All right, so then my number 8 is The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a punt.
Oh, fair. Okay, cool. What's your number 7?
7 for me is, I'm sure we're about to say the words punt.
Okay.
Gandhi.
Did not put it on the list.
I watched it for this.
Oh, what did you think?
It was fantastic.
Yes!
It was fantastic.
Yes! How ironic that I didn't have it on my list, but you loved it that much to put on your list. That's fucking great. I couldn't be happier that it's on your list.
It would go higher, except I don't know if I'll see it again because it took me this long to see.
Yeah?
So, but Ben Kingsley,
It's incredible.
100% believe him, and I love...
He is 26 when he is making that movie. 26.
Or very early on, there are like 2 or 3 moments where very specific scenes, and I could point to, seemed like a TV movie. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just really impressive for the time, but the kind of glacial inevitability of this was done so beautifully.
Yeah.
And then the fallout from finally getting what they wanted, and some of the forecasters, the doomsayers, were correct.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You see it every time people are liberated. Well, now they have to fight for their own identity.
Right.
And everybody thinks they know what is right. And just to see, on some level, everybody learns about Gandhi. And you think you know, but to see it brought to life, by an Englishman of all things.
Yeah.
Now would never happen in a million years.
Right.
But he looks like Gandhi. I assume he sounds like Gandhi because there were still numerous people that were alive that knew Gandhi.
Yep. And he is I think he's half Indian or quarter Indian, Kingsley is.
Oh, is he?
So it was the connection there as well. And you go Gandhi from a young man to what he becomes, and the progression makes sense. And they still give him uncomfortable moments of reactions to things.
Yeah.
He's not a perfect spiritual leader.
Doesn't always have the answer.
Exactly. And I love that. That's what makes the film come to life for me is it's an honest portrayal of a man progressing to this point in his life where he becomes what he becomes, and people grab these sayings and these thoughts and stuff, but this is all later on in his life that he came to this wisdom. So you as a young person will see this wisdom, you want to embrace this wisdom and try to put it in motion, but you're not always going to be able to do it, just like he couldn't always be able to do it.
Exactly.
It's the progression of it that's really fantastic, and all the incredible actors. There's a lot of great British actors all through the film.
Martin Sheen,
John Gielgud, Candice Bergen. Yeah.
The only thing that I will say, it doesn't bother me that you cast Ben Kingsley, but the end credits,
Yeah.
it is English actor, like one at a time.
Oh, yeah,
English actor, American actor, English actor, and then I believe there might be one Indian before it starts to go into two on a screen.
Yeah.
And now we start acknowledging the Indian actors, even though a lot of them were on screen more than all those. I understand they're the bigger names.
Right.
But at the same time, this doesn't hold up well.
Yeah,
I don't mind the Kingsley.
That would not be happening now.
Yeah. Well, just do it by screen time or something like that.
Sure,
Just like he had the most. Boom. This guy, the gentleman who's there's numerous Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. That one
Out of
scene.
nowhere.
Yeah.
There are several young actors who eventually later on played like Middle Eastern characters and Indian characters, whatnot, played of that region, Pakistani or Afghanistani or all that. Just like, oh shit, that guy. Oh, I've seen him in a million things. Maybe this was like his first, real gig.
Well, if you saw Dumbo, the guy who plays Nero in Gandhi is the guy who has the snake around his neck. That's the same actor.
Yeah, he was the I want to say politician or / diplomat in Temple of Doom.
Oh yes.
It was just like Dr. Jones, like talking to him because he is the westernized face of this tribal cult-like thing.
Yeah.
He's the one that's smoothing things out so they can keep doing what they want to do.
And Ian Charleson, who plays the priest, is from Chariots of Fire. That's the guy from Chariots of Fire.
Okay.
If you've ever seen Chariots of Fire, so yeah, all around. I'm so happy it's on your list, man.
It was really good.
Yeah, I love that movie. I feel terrible that it didn't make my list, and I may have to rethink my list now. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, what's your number 6?
6 is Malcolm X.
That's my 6. Yep, Malcolm X. I couldn't break the top 5. I wanted to make that, and I'm like, no, I can't. With all good conscience, I can't put it in the top 5.
It just doesn't stack up. One we're about to get to on mine, I know I'm going to watch this 10 more times.
Yes.
Like 10 times more than I will watch Malcolm X.
Yep.
And I enjoy the film so thoroughly now with each repeat. It's actually grown because I thought it was okay when it came out. Whereas Malcolm X is I will revisit it.
Yeah.
But just the rewatchability isn't as high as, say, my top 5.
Right. I agree with that.
And that's just for me as a 40-year-old white guy. It's the opinion there. If it's for others, be like, it means so much more to me. 100% understand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Silvestrini had Father of the Bride, her number 1, Steve Martin re-list. I think that's what it was. Be like, it's because of my dad. And be like, I can't fight you on that. That makes all the sense in the world. I have movies like that myself. But Malcolm X, we've talked about it
we have
several times.
Such a great film.
It is.
It's a little bit uneven at certain spots, which I think is why it keeps it out of my top 5. But it's still such a fantastic performance from Denzel. It's a very authentic interpretation of Alex Haley's book. And you at least get a window into this world, and it's up to you if you want to go and explore it more and find out and find his. And I guarantee you, if you have even a passing interest in Malcolm X and you have not listened to his speeches, go and listen to his speeches. It will blow you away what this man could do with his speeches and how he could convince you of certain, or at least convince you to look at things in a new perspective, in a new way. And the movie captures that in a number of moments with what Denzel's doing. It isn't just the fiery speeches. It's more about how he intelligently breaks things down when he talks about things. And you're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, once, it's nice because he's what you hope a lot of people are, most people, if not all, is when confronted with new information, is willing to reassess a truth that
Exactly.
he believes is concrete.
Right.
And that's not easy.
Nope. A lot of people can't do it.
No, they just blindly, this is what I believe, and there's nothing you could say that can sway me. And
Right.
I understand that. We all have those types of things.
Yeah.
But, he was leading the charge in one specific, down one direction.
Yeah.
And then saw the hypocrisy, saw the layers upon layers of bullshit.
Yeah.
And then eventually was like, this is not what I believe.
Right.
And I just strike out on my own, no matter how difficult that is. And ultimately, it cost him his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's such an interesting time in human history. You couple that resistance and that movement with like Gandhi,
Yes.
who we just talked about,
Yeah.
where you need to stand up to hatred with love and compassion and opening your arms and turning the other cheek and doing other things that are way more difficult than to fight back.
Yeah.
In these types of instances, because it's just
Yeah.
it's weird that happened not too long ago.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of mind-blowing.
It is.
It's only 50 years ago. My number 7 then is Ben-Hur.
Not on my list.
Yeah, that's fair. This is one of those, like the Silvestrini. This is one of those ones that I love this movie to pieces. Watched it with my family growing up. The lessons of the movie, this guy who is a Jewish prince in his town, confronted with a Roman soldier who used to be his best friend growing up. This Roman soldier wants him to betray the other Jewish citizens who are talking negatively about Rome.
Yeah.
He won't do it. So the Roman guy thinks he's betraying him. And so he trumps up charges when an accidental a tile from the roof
exactly.
falls down. And instead of accepting the reason of why that happened, that it's an old roof and it was an accident, he uses it to try to manipulate Judah Ben-Hur, that's the Charlton Heston character, into giving up. He won't do it, and he puts him into slavery and sends his mother and sister into a leper colony. And it's like, fuck. And so the whole movie is his fight, his struggle to get back to that point, to be able to exact revenge somehow. And along the way, Jesus Christ gives him water. And near the end, he watches Jesus Christ's walk to the crucifixion. And it's just so powerful. And in the meantime, he becomes a king, or he becomes a prince again for Rome in some odd way,
It's
incredible.
adopted almost.
Yeah, he gets adopted officially because he saves one of these centurion generals from a sea battle, and the centurion general thinks that he's lost the battle, but he actually wins the battle, and because Judah saved him, he is revered in Rome as a general again, and so he adopts Judah for that. And it's just an incredible journey how it goes around, and it's a film I watch all the time. They're coming out with a remastered version in the theaters, I think for the 50th or 60th anniversary of the film, 60th anniversary of the film, and it'll be out, I think, in the next couple of weeks or something like that. So it still holds weight with a lot of people. And it's my Easter tradition every year. So it's coming up, so I'll probably watch it this Sunday. All right, what's your number 5?
5 is the punt from earlier, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, okay. Wow, shit. Top 5.
I thought it was good when it came out. So
Yeah.
in the theater, I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
And then once it came out on whatever streaming service first, I couldn't stop watching it. It's so, man, the performances are so incredible.
Can't deny that.
DiCaprio alone crawling to the car, that is utterly ridiculous to film that scene. It should be so over the top. And I hate it when actors try and play drunk because they always do that. Like the Speedy Gonzalez's friends in the Mexican town. It's always a and you're like, dude, that's a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
That is a rare occurrence. And it just seems to be the stereotype, some version of that. To see somebody so just whacked out of his mind on barbiturates and drugs that don't get manufactured anymore.
Yep.
On top of uppers and downers and booze and just him and Jonah Hill like smoking crack in that phone booth or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The look on their faces. And I can't believe that this is actually based on a true story where this guy managed to take penny stocks and turn it into multi-million-dollar industry. He has all this money, and he's trying to evade having to pay taxes on it.
Yep.
The sheer hubris and the fact that he robbed people of their money.
Yep.
And he is fine.
Yep.
He's fine.
He's the one telling the story.
He is.
It's based
Sell
on
me
his
this
book.
pen.
Yeah.
At the fucking end, and just to watch that and be like, the hypocrisy of our justice system. This this is a beautiful illustration of that.
I always think it's like, when you think about, like, everyone hates Hitler, right? But you start to look at Stalin, you start to look at Pol Pot, Idi Amin. They killed way more people.
Yeah.
But like Eddie Izzard says in the stand-up, it's so overwhelming. They're almost like, good job, great job. Like with money is the same thing. The more you steal, the less you seem to get punished, and the quicker you're out of jail.
True.
But you shoot somebody, you're in jail for 20 years. You steal $500 million, you're in jail for 4 or 5, and you keep most of it. It's madness.
Or perhaps you just relinquish the majority of the funds from the ill-gotten gains and whatever real estate or whatnot. Maybe you could keep that.
Yes.
If you live in certain states, that cannot be seized, so you will retain. That's why a bunch of people live in Florida.
Yeah.
Athletes and whatnot.
Oh, right, exactly.
If they go bankrupt, you can't seize your home in Florida. So that's why a bunch of athletes and other rich people own homes in Florida.
Makes sense.
It does. Does. If you got a Nick Cage kind of lifestyle where you just spend money all willy-nilly, it's good to own a home, somewhere where they can't take it. And, the difference between him and like Bernie Madoff is Bernie Madoff just straight robbed people.
Yes.
He's selling them a lotto ticket, and they're just paying in at, 10,000 here, 20,000 there, 100,000 there. They're buying what they think is a lotto ticket.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more of you got yourself into this mess as opposed to Bernie Madoff just flat lying. Because somebody had to make a little bit of money on that.
Yeah.
It's kind of inevitable. If all these people, whoever got in early, more than likely all these people that are buying huge chunks, it drives the price of the stock up.
Yep.
There's demand. There's only so much supply. So the people that were early on, they may have, more than likely made some good money on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he should have won the Oscar for this over Revenant.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah, I like Revenant, but when he starts to change his mind about making a deal with the FBI, and he starts like convulsing in the speech, like that's incredible acting, man. And he becomes an animal. He becomes primal in that moment. You're just like, this motherfucker is insane. And you're right. The crawling I've said this before on another show, maybe one of ours. I said you should not be able to graduate acting class until you can do that scene. Like that scene.
Who can do that scene?
That's what I'm saying. That means only the best are going to get out of this fucking class. Because that is such a difficult scene to do.
Streep, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. That's a very specific criteria.
It's such an incredible scene.
It is.
That's a good actor.
I love the
great actor.
He thinks everything was hunky dory getting home.
Oh yeah.
And then flashing back to the reality, he's clipping mailboxes. It's just so good. It just kicks in out of nowhere.
Tore up.
It is, and it's a drop in the bucket of the financial holdings that he has. It doesn't matter. Crashes that helicopter.
Yes. Oh yeah, the helicopter. That's right.
And this is a true story. This is a true fucking story.
Yes, it is.
This guy's out walking around now.
Yeah, he is.
And some people,
they're very mad about it. Yeah.
Saying, "Hey, you don't do drugs anymore. You cleaned your life up. Good for you." And you're like, "Wow."
Yeah.
Only in America.
Only in America. All right, my number 5 is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's a punt.
Okay. All right. What's your number 4?
4 is Seven Samurai.
That is a punt.
Okay.
Yeah. My 4 is Braveheart.
That is not a 3-hour film.
What?
I looked it up twice.
Are you sure?
On IMDb and Wikipedia, it both lists the running time at 2:58.
What?
If you just Google it,
I'm gonna
Google
look it up.
says
Hold
like
on.
301 or 302.
If you're right, then I can adjust my list.
But Wikipedia and IMDb, I was like, Braveheart's making this list, and I looked it up, and on IMDb, 2:58.
You were right.
I know. I was heartbroken.
Oh my God. I just assumed.
So did I, and then I Googled Braveheart because I was just checking the links
Yeah.
on a bunch of these.
All right. Gandhi has made the list.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I got 258/302 next to Braveheart. And
Gandhi made that was my number 11. So Gandhi makes.
I wanted
list.
to be
All
on this list.
That was my number 4. Then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and 5 would be Malcolm X. All right, so it did make my top 5. All right. Then where are we up to? Did you do your 4?
Well, that was a punt.
Which
And your
is?
4 was Seven Samurai.
Oh, right. So then, what's your number 3?
3 is Schindler's List.
Yeah, I couldn't put it on the list.
Really?
Yeah, because it's our top 3-hour films. It's not a film I go back to and watch. I've only seen it twice.
That's the beauty of it, though.
It's an incredible film. It's one of the greatest films ever made. Can't deny it. But personal list, it's not a one I go back to and watch over and over again. So I had to cut it for that reason.
But the indelibility of the scenes, I could start rattling off.
Yes, you're right.
Just like we did with Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I remember everything. You're
and
right.
you would, and you'd be like, oh yeah, and then go this, and trying to convince Ray Fiennes that true power is actually sparing people.
Yeah.
When I saw that and like just the long con you're trying to play, and it works.
Yep.
Because It's much like when you brought up on Sports Time. I don't know if we actually ever talked about it on the show, and you're like, I hate these celebrations because they're getting so long. And I was like, I can't wait. It's been around for so long. Eventually, it'll go minimalist or it'll go avant-garde. And people will try like, oh, you'll do it now? I just do like this tiny little motion.
Yeah.
Who could do the best like one move?
Yeah.
It'll just kind of the ebb and the flow and the ebb and the flow. But yeah, Schindler's List to me, it's just for that reason. When he's on the balcony and he's just nonchalantly picking people off. Meanwhile, he just had sex with a Jew.
Yeah. And Beth Davids, yeah.
Yeah.
As the maid, yeah.
And the party where he kisses her and then everybody's aghast.
Yeah.
And he could lose his position and potentially end up in like jail and whatnot.
Right.
For that alone. And we haven't even talked about the more harrowing side.
Yeah.
And the breakdown at the end of Liam Neeson with like this pen.
Yeah.
And Ben Kingsley just handing him a list and like, you have to understand, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You have saved an entire generation of people. Mm-hmm. And, you know.
Well, the architect scene where the female architect is saying you're building the thing wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And she gets shot just for questioning it.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
And then they fix it.
How
dare you?
Right. Because they're like, we're not going to tell you that you're right. And if we kill you, you can't tell anybody else that you were right. That's just the brutal logic of it is overwhelming.
In 12 Years a Slave, when Chiwetel's character is, I think he's an engineer, but he convinces, it's not Fassbender's, Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Let's build this raft, and we can get them much quicker, more efficiently, and we're not doing back-breaking work all day long.
Yeah.
And it pisses off Paul Dano and the other guy that are driving them. And ultimately, Cumberbatch is like, you're right. And he somewhat treats him like an equal.
Yeah.
But when justice is coming, it's just you have to run. I got to sell you to Fassbender because you're going to be dead, and I can't stop that. I can't get in the way of that. And you're like, Jesus Christ, the reality here is ridiculous. I can't admit any kind of wrong to this other person.
Right, because we deem that person lesser than.
Not even, you're not the same species.
Yeah, species, yeah.
You're a beast of burden. Yeah. And just fucking Gandhi in South Africa.
Right. Same thing.
Yeah. I bought a first class ticket. I am a lawyer. I am a British citizen.
Yeah.
Guess what? You can't walk on my sidewalk. You're like, you can't walk on my fucking sidewalk. Are you kidding me?
Right.
When are you getting stopped by these South African hillbillies?
I'm a lawyer. And you who just probably walked away from a fucking 7-Eleven, South African version of 7-Eleven, you're going to tell me I can't walk on a fucking same street as you? Yeah. Fuck you.
I went to London for schooling. I am passed by the bar there.
Yeah.
To go before whatever magistrate or whatever it was, a guy in a wig.
Yep.
It's a common theme with a lot of historical, it's just the inequality that people give people.
Right.
We've treated each other shitty as soon as we could.
Oh, yeah. The need for status is the hallmark of human interaction and human civilization is the need for status. You can lord it over another person. It's just, it's how it always goes.
Dude, me and a buddy.
It's happening now. Yeah.
We're pitching game shows for a while.
Oh, nice.
It was years ago, but one that we came up with, just the title was I'm Better Than You. Because I figured when you're scrolling through, who doesn't stop at least once on I'm better than you? What is this?
Yeah.
And basically, it's one person, so it's kind of like there's a pool of contestants, and they don't know that individual's strength. And then there's a list of like questions and whatnot, and you get to choose the question and the person. Some of these people are like astrophysicists or historians or like professors or whatnot. But you have to I'm better than you at whatever this is. It could be a physical challenge. It could be a whatever, whatnot. And we had like all this stuff built in and made it into like a what was that game where you're running through the obstacle course and get knocked off? So there are aspects of that.
Oh, like that became like Wipeout? Was it
Wipeout?
Yeah.
So there are aspects of that. Like if you got it wrong, then we had like a door that would drop out that Ellen eventually did on. And I'm sure that existed on. Yeah. And just stuff like that. When you lose, boom, we just send you out in some unglorious way.
Yeah.
So we get a laugh out of it. Unfortunately, you failed. Boom, pot goes up. And we had all these mechanics built in. Nobody ever bid on it. Just like a lot. The vast majority of pitches.
Yeah.
We had another one that I thought would sell, but I think we were up against somebody who already produces a reality TV show, and he had one in development that we didn't know at the time, but it was close to. Wasn't the same, but it was close to.
Right.
You're like, oh, shit. Well, nobody really knew about that. So Schindler's List.
There we go. So Star Wars.
So Star Wars.
So that's your number 3.
That's my number 3.
All right. So my number 3 then is Lawrence of Arabia.
They're not going to make my list. I didn't watch it for this.
Oh, shit. You've still never seen it?
No.
God damn it, Nost.
Dude, it's a 3-hour movie.
It's more than that. It's
I
a
know.
3-hour and 45-minute movie.
Exactly. So you got to make time for something like that. I set aside for this for Gandhi and for Deer Hunter.
All right. If you can stand to be in a movie theater with me for 4 hours, I will take you to Gandhi at some point. I mean, to Lawrence of Arabia at some
Well,
point.
we should-
Because they show it at the Egyptian and they show it at the Arrow all the time.
Maybe we should have the show fucking pay for it, and then we figure out a way to make something for Patreon.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. I'm down with that. All right. So, yeah, Lawrence of Arabia. I know. I can't believe I didn't put it 1 or 2, but it is where it is for a reason. It is a fantastic film. It's an incredible film. Almost 4 hours. Peter O'Toole, all this stuff, historical epic, really moving. If you enjoyed Gandhi, you're going to love Lawrence of Arabia. Omar Sharif, everything about this movie. If you haven't seen it, give it a chance. Go and watch it. And if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The cinematography from David Lean is incredible. The story, the change in Lawrence, the uncomfortable moments that occur, that cause these changes. Anthony Quinn is fantastic in the film, and Aqaba and all the things that he overcomes in order to try to create this union between the Arabs and the English, and what it ends up costing him, and how it ends up affecting him as he leaves that theater of war and tries to assume a normal life. It's incredible. All right, what's your number 2?
2 is the punt from you earlier, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Wow, 2. All right, go ahead. Yeah,
But just,
so good.
it is so good. And I will more than likely watch it. I think Wolf of Wall Street will be probably the most watched on my list.
Oh, nice. It's
Maybe
one of
that or
those.
2 hours, just because it can be on at any point.
Right.
And I can watch for 10 minutes or the rest of the movie, and I'm
Right.
fine. Other ones, it's just like, if I'm in, I'm in.
Right.
And I don't want to start halfway through.
Right.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I could.
Sure.
It wouldn't depreciate my enjoyment of it, but like, I don't know, Seven Samurai that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to start to finish that thing.
Gotcha.
That's more of a, I'm sitting down to watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's a long movie.
It is.
It's an investment. But the good, the bad, I mean, it's prime Clint. It's one of the best Westerns of all time.
Yep.
It's such a simple story, but the characters are so vividly portrayed and brought to life, and the dynamic between all of them. And as much as there is a quote-unquote good, he's not really good.
Right.
Yeah.
No
They're
one's
all
clean.
ugly.
They're all ugly. Exactly.
Yeah, and they're all bad.
Yeah.
And technically, from their vantage point, sometimes they're good.
Yep.
Just like the ugly with his brother. Mm-hmm. Just like that, you're not better than me.
Right. You thought you could judge me because you're a priest.
Yeah,
But
I'm the one that stayed home.
I stayed home and took care of our parents while you ran off to
Exactly.
because you couldn't handle it.
Exactly.
So you want to judge me. You want once again, you want to lord over your status over me. Fuck you. This is the real truth.
Yeah.
This is really what happened. You didn't want to face it. You're a man of God. You just use that so you could be superior to other people. The truth is, you did this because you.
I know
didn't
you're
do it.
bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't even try it.
Exactly.
I will cede a lot of the moral high ground to you,
Yeah.
which he is implying in that. And then ultimately, it's like you are just as hypocritical
Yeah.
as I am. Well, not just as, but you have hypocrisy just like the rest of us.
Right.
And to see a redeeming quality of him, and now it's just like, wow, he stayed home. Maybe that drove him to rob and cheat and steal because he had to do something. He had to steal his bread to feed the family, whatever the case was.
Yeah.
It's a gateway crime. Started small and just worked larger and larger. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
But over and over and over, it's just beautifully cast, beautifully shot. The pacing is excellent. The music is second to none.
yeah.
Just, I mean, it's amazing when something like this comes out. And it's just like, wow, everybody was firing on all cylinders. Just great script, cinematography, director, acting, music, boom, 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 just right across the board.
Yeah, I feel like he was working it out with for a few dollars more and fistful of dollars.
Sure.
I feel like he was working it out, and then he nailed it in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like everything, he knew exactly how to use Clint perfectly, how to use Lee Van Cleef, who they had already been in a film together for him, and Eli Wallach as well. So the combination of everything was just phenomenal, and the way it ends is just the classic.
It is.
Three-way showdown.
Mexican standoff, baby.
Yeah, total Mexican stand-up. And then to end it the way he did Screaming for Blondie, it's just brilliant.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, you could...
And you flip in the Civil War stuff, Matt.
I was
Good
going to say,
God.
you could take that out. If people want to fault him for why did the story need to deviate to here, and I just think it's to give a broader scope to the story to show that these people are bad, but so is everybody else.
Yes.
here's a war that's going on that neither side wants to really be in, but they're
Right.
needlessly killing each other over, especially this far west, over stakes that are irrelevant
Yep.
to them. It's just such a good movie.
Yeah.
We talked about it a lot.
It destroys all the conventions of, religion, war, civilization, society, money, all of it. It destroys it all. So that's our number 2,
Yeah, what's your 2?
Seven Samurai.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
yeah,
have the
yeah.
same number 1.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't see how it's not possible.
Seven Samurai is. Listen, I get what Matt says. You sit down. You have to sit down and watch the whole. For me, it is one of those because I'm a massive Japanese film fan. It's one of these ones I can pick up wherever and watch because it's just Toshiro Mifune makes it able for you to watch it wherever and pick up wherever you're watching it and go into it. So many great Japanese actors through this thing, and of course, it sparked Magnificent Seven. It sparked any kind of film that you saw since this film came out. From this date of this film year this film came out. Anything where you saw people getting together to defend a defenseless group of people over a larger group of people, this film influenced that.
When we're getting the band together.
Yeah.
Not back together, but we're getting the band together.
Yep.
That is thanks to this movie.
Yeah, exactly. And so many great archetypes, such great script, and very moving. It's a black and white movie. It does have subtitles because it's all in Japanese. But Akira Kurosawa is one of the greatest film directors, if not the greatest film director ever. And look what he's able to do with this 3-hour epic. By the time you're done with it, I swear it feels like 2 hours tops. And because you don't think it zips along, but the dialogue is fantastic. The humor's all there. Then the reality of the situation, the swings in emotion from these villagers, and then what the villagers kind of do in mistrusting these samurai, even though they need these samurai. There's so many things going on in terms of classes and everything like that. All of it through, and it's pretty tragic when you see how it all ends up when the final battle happens, who lives and who dies, and what they say there. So it's such an incredibly beautiful film and well-written film, and an epic in every sense of the word.
It's the blueprint or the template for so many movies now that you kind of take for granted.
Yeah.
Like the gang ups. Like there is no Lord of the Rings movie on some level.
Probably.
Now the book predates.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that, this idea was not entirely forged by Kurosawa.
Right.
It wasn't. But on film, to see that this random group of individuals kind of come together and coalesce into a team and have, an objective and how that goes and who makes it to the end and who doesn't.
I don't think you have Dirty Dozen without this film.
You don't have Magnificent Seven, obviously.
Obviously, right. What was that 80s one, Battle Beyond the Stars? That one where they brought in everybody to fight this evil...
Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah,
TV show.
It was was it a TV show?
Well, it sounds like Battle of the Network Stars, first and foremost, but Battle Beyond the Stars?
Yeah, it was like
it's so generic.
It was like a sci-fi from the 80s. Yeah, by George Papard, Robert Vaughn. A young farmer. Here it is.
Is this a TV movie?
It was released in theaters. I remember I saw it. A young farmer sets out to recruit mercenaries to defend his peaceful planet, which is under threat of invasion by evil tyrant Sador and his armada of aggressors. Robert Vaughn, Richard Thomas, John Boysen, John Saxon, Sybil Danning, all these people. I remember seeing this in the theater. Battle Beyond the Stars.
This movie spawns Three Amigos.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point. Absolutely.
Yeah, it touched a lot of different genres and different styles.
You could argue Ocean's 11. You could argue
a team up.
Anything that's team up is
With that
is
many
Seven
people.
Samurai.
Three Amigos is smaller, but at the same time, it is the villagers reaching out to and trying to find individuals to rectify their El Guapo problem, which is what Seven Samurai is. They just have a different El Guapo.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime you can find a movie like that, there is part of its DNA is laced with Seven Samurai.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then our number 1, I imagine, is the same one as the Godfather Part Two. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, what do you say about perfection? I don't know. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's both of our favorite in the trilogy.
Yes. It's the scope of it from jumping back and forth in time. As if that's not enough, you have Michael expanding his empire into some attempt at credibility, some attempt of being accepted as a businessman, even though what he does in conducting his business is kind of terrible. He's still a businessman, and he wants to be seen this way. And it goes all the way out to Miami. It goes into the old school Murder Inc. This is Hyman Roth is essentially Meyer Lansky.
Yeah.
This idea to want to achieve the highest levels of power within the world of the mafia, and also the highest levels of power in the country, in America. That credibility that he sought, and it drives him to the point where he loses his wife, loses his kids, loses his brother, and all in the effort to save his family. And in the end, did he make all the right moves?
Yeah.
You could argue he did, but inside, he was always this cold son of a bitch.
He made all the right moves if you want to keep the family in the business it's in.
Yes, true. Good point.
You could have just said, you know what, let's disavow this and take the money we've made and just go legitimate.
Yeah.
Next generation is out of this, and we use our influence now, basically due to Michael.
Yeah.
What his father Brando tried to do, Corleone.
Right.
To Michael, get in the legitimate side, and then eventually you can Ted Kennedy and get the fuck out of the bootlegging side.
Right.
And you're Camelot to this day. And it's interesting just to see, him repeat the sins of the past.
Yes.
And get corrupted by the world that's been created and everything that his parents didn't want for him, but ultimately he just seemed utterly destined for.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Fredo and the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to have, and the changing Connie from the beginning of that movie to the end of the movie is fantastic too.
Yeah.
Connie is like the, frivolous guy with, girl with, what's his face, Tab Hunter. And then by the end, she understands that she has to come back to the family and be of service to the family. She has to put away this anger she has about the death of her first husband and how it went down, and embrace what she needs to do in her role in the family. And that happens to a lot of people. Like, they wild it out in their 20s and 30s and then realize, no, I've got to come back home, lay the roots back down, be a part of this family to keep it moving forward for the next generations, And it's incredible how that goes. And the just all of it is just, if you haven't seen it, it's phenomenal. So watch it. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's put this list together, my friend.
All right, so Godfather 2 is easy enough. Where'd you have Good the Bad?
I had it at 4.
Okay, so we got a Good the Bad 7 Samurai situation.
Oh, no. Is that your 4 too?
Yeah, it's a 2-force flip-off.
Son of a bitch. Did you bring the coin?
I have a coin. I got a quarter.
Okay, let's do it.
And apologies to Hasso. The coin is not here today.
Is he making us a new one?
He is. He got lost more than likely somewhere in Europe.
Oh,
He got brought with. And
the
then,
excursions.
Yeah, when I opened... So I don't know what I do. I brought it with, but I never opened that pocket, I don't believe.
Okay.
Once.
Okay.
And I found the bag open, and the other coin that we had, the specialty coin, was out.
Okay.
So at some point I opened it. I don't remember when, because it's the only thing in the pocket.
Okay.
We never used it, but
Fair
so
enough.
Hasso was like, I'm making another. And it was like, oh, you didn't have to, but thank you. It's very kind of you. You want to call it in the air?
Sure.
All right.
Heads.
It is heads.
Hey-oh. I'll
7
take 7
Samurai.
Samurai, yeah.
All right, so Good the Bad after that. And your 3 was what again?
My 3 was Lawrence of Arabia.
Which I don't have. And
Right.
Schindler's, you don't have.
Right. But what was your 3?
Schindler's.
Oh, wow. Do you want to move Good, the Bad, and the Ugly up there to 3?
No.
Oh, it's
3's
already there.
done.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
We're at number 4. We
All
both
right.
have Wolf of Wall Street. Where do you have that?
I have it at 7. What was your 3 again?
Schindler's.
Let's put it there. And then we'll put Lawrence underneath. And then we'll go from there in terms of the comparisons.
All right.
Yeah, since I won the first, that's fine.
I think Wolf is the next highest we have in common.
Malcolm X. Don't we have Malcolm X in common?
6.5?
That's mine, 5, yeah. And you have it at 6?
Yeah, although that just got bumped up. Let's see, rejiggering. All right, Wolf of Wall Street next.
Okay, that's fine. I have Gandhi at 10 now. So you can put Gandhi on the list if you want.
Well,
What's
that's the
your
only
next
other
one?
commonality we have.
Okay, done.
So then after that, what's your next highest?
My next highest is Ben-Hur at 6.
Okay, Ben-Hur it is.
Okay.
And what's your next highest after that?
The Wolf of Deer Hunter at 8.
All right, I got Two Towers at 8. I think that opening is too long in one. That's why I didn't even count it for my list. So that's my argument.
Like, I don't want to let the Lord of the Rings fans down. Fine. I'm not going to fight.
There it is.
There it is. All right, I'm going to go get the thing.
All right.
You vamp.
I will vamp. Yeah, so...
Do you need tissue?
No, I'm good. Yeah, Chicago People, that show should be out in a couple weeks. We have something in the hopper for the week after you hear this one. Working on a little show there for you, special little treat. And then Toronto, Houston / San Antonio, please email us at thetop10live@gmail with the number 10, the top 10 live. And in the subject area, put the city, and in the body, just you and how many ever. If it's just you, great. If it's you plus how many ever, just let us know. And we'll mark it, set it aside, let you know that we got the email. And then we'll move forward from there. But those are starting to really look doable. Once again, it's facebook.com/groups/Top 10 Texas and Top 10 Toronto. But you can find those on our regular Facebook page, which is facebook.com/groups/the Top 10 Show with the number 10. That is the Top 10 Show.
Boom.
We'll have it on there, and then Wednesday or Thursday this week, we can tweet out the links for those.
Okay.
For the email and for the 2 Facebook groups for those shows. But they're rounding into form. You guys definitely stepped up if you wanted us to come there. So looks like those realities will be happening, and we'll start working on dates very soon.
Woohoo!
So you ready?
Let's do this thing. The top 10 3-hour films, yeah. At number 10.
The Two Towers.
At number 9.
Ben-Hur.
At number 8.
Gandhi.
At number 7.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
At number 6.
Malcolm X.
At number 5.
Lawrence of Arabia.
At number 4.
Schindler's List.
At number 3.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
At number 2.
Seven Samurai.
And our number 1 top 3-hour film is
The Godfather Part Two.
Nice. All right. There you go.
And this was all thanks to Robert Haley.
Yes.
Old Babo. Babo. Hey, Bobby Babo. Who submitted the topic on Patreon. He's a Boss Hog level.
Nice.
And at that, you get to be part of the list of people that submit ideas for a topic once a month. You get the old school feed. You get a shout out on the show. You get all kinds of different stuff. We're working on more perks. There's the old episodes that go up. And you get those as well.
Nice.
And our thanks to you, Robert. Here's what he said. Here's his list. Robert Haley says, "Thanks for choosing my topic, gents. Always love listening to you both. A quick preface before I get to my list. There's a few I know you'll be disappointed with me for leaving off, but in general, it's because I haven't seen them. For what it's worth, I have purchased Malcolm X and Das Boot. Is Das Boot a 3-hour film?
Yes. Oh, no.
That makes my list.
Oh, no.
That makes my list. That bumps right stuff off for sure.
Okay.
That goes above Spartacus.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
That might go above Two Towers.
Oh,
That
no.
might go above. Yeah, that's fucking like 6-7 range for me.
Oh,
Fuck.
no. Oh,
What are you going to do, man?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? We were on the road.
No, it's not. It's 2 hours and 29 minutes.
All right, good. I was going to say, I was like, I don't remember.
Ooh.
I looked online for a long time. Just kept racking my brain. What about this? Checking the IMDb. What about this?
Right.
So just haven't seen them yet. Let the shitting on my list commence. At number 10, The Right Stuff. Can't fault you there. At number 9, Ben-Hur for the chariot scene alone.
Oh, nice.
At number 8, Gettysburg.
Oh, yeah.
I may be the only one who loves this movie, but as a Civil War buff, I find it absolutely fascinating.
You're not, Bobo. It's a fantastic film. And that's 4.5 hours, that film.
Yeah, I wish it was better.
It feels a little like a TV movie at times.
does.
I'm not going to argue that. But the Jeff Daniels sequence is worth it.
I mean, I've probably read 30 or 40 books in the Civil War. Not even kidding. My dad was a junkie for a long time, so I just got his hand-me-downs, and I've read a lot of books.
Oh, yeah.
Even down to tactics that were created in the Civil War.
Wow.
Covering fire was invented by Stonewall Jackson.
Really?
So advancing lines on the battlefield
Yeah.
was Stonewall Jackson, I believe.
Huh.
So just one side, boom, covering fire, and then the other side would advance a little
Right.
bit. If the South had the overall breadth of supplies that the North did, there's a damn good chance they easily win that because their generalship was pretty excellent.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, Gettysburg, fine movie. 7 is The Green Mile. Mm-hmm. It was in consideration.
Yeah.
6 is Lawrence of Arabia. Insert Roka telling me it's too low.
Yes.
At 5 is Gandhi. 4 is Spartacus.
Spartacus.
3 is The Wolf of Wall Street. 2 is The Godfather Part 2.
Ooh.
At 2.
2. Okay.
At 2.
Okay.
And number 1, he apparently just goes fucking crazy and just says the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
What?
Now, he has a qualifier. It says, if I have to choose one, it's Fellowship. So you already chose the wrong one.
Jesus Christ.
I know that's both of your least favorite, but as someone who had to read the books, or who had read the books rather, that first movie was so magical, especially the bridge scene in Moria and the ending with Boromir/Aragorn. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. It's just so long until it gets there, and there are so many people that agree with him right now that that's their favorite. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. I understand that Two Towers is probably the least favorite of the average person's three.
Sure. Sure.
Because it's the middle. It's the most incomplete, but, I like it for that. But
Yeah.
the favorite. Okay. Movies that were just below 3 hours, according to my research, was Braveheart, The Godfather, and Saving Private Ryan.
I guess he was right.
All would have made this list if they would have qualified. Well, Das Boot, add that to that list. Love the show, and I'll see you in Texas. Robert, a.k.a. Bob O'Haley.
Nice, Robert.
P.S. I'm going to get you all to do Scores Soundtracks episode one of these days.
Oh.
Well, now that you publicly said it, it'll never happen.
That's right.
It'll never
Don't
happen.
pressure us, man. It doesn't. That's not the way to do it.
It's like a Dan Nye and now Andy Merriweather going, hey, if you need a guest sometime. Nope. Nope.
Pretty Dan.
The fact that you were so bold-faced upon asking means we will instantly shoot you down because we're pricks.
Yeah. Exactly.
At least I will. And happily do it. Dan, I'm already going to help you figure out the areas you want to live in. Is that not enough? Is that not enough?
What more do you want?
Exactly. I'm bleeding over here, buddy. I am.
All right.
And that was thanks to Robert Haley. Thank you so much. If you want to be a supporter of ours on Patreon, go to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And like we brought up earlier, any support that you can give to the show, whether it's leaving a review on your podcast feed of choice, whether that's iTunes or Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play. I swear to God, it's on there. Some people can find it, some people can't. I don't know how to help you with the search algorithm.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, and I can see the back end, which is weird for Google.
Yeah.
But it's Chicago. Numerous people are saying, sometimes it's really difficult to find shit on there. And you're like, wow, from Google.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's strange.
It is. I'll try and, futz with it again. But, even giving us a review there, even if it's just downloading it, or if you can make it out to a live show, fantastic. If you want to buy merch, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Pick up a t-shirt there.
Yep.
I know we've been saying for 6 months that more designs are going up, but we've actually been contacted by 5-6 graphic designers.
Yes.
And if there are more out there, hit us up. We've got various ideas, some t-shirts, some promotional related, some we'll need stuff for flyers and stuff for cities coming up.
Yep.
If we end up doing those, we definitely use your help. And now that we're back from Chicago, we'll be reaching out very soon.
Come on.
That you're. So that's it. The people that are waiting on the relist, it is coming out this Sunday, and then there's a good chance that we have to release 3 relists next month because of our schedules. At the end of the month, it's going to be tough for us to make time to record 2 shows on one night. We're so it's getting tight at the end of the month. So if that's the case, we'll still draw all the names and get who you are and figure out what the list is going to be.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be recorded and released, the beginning of May.
Yep.
So just look for that. We're not going to stiff you. You'll have to wait a week to hear it more than likely.
Yeah.
And I think that is it. You can follow me at Matt Nost anywhere online. What about you, sir?
You can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And again, big shout out and thank you to everyone who came out to our Chicago show. I'm sure it's not the last shows. I'm not sure it's not the last time we're going to mention it, but just want to say thank you so much. And Matt and I had a great time meeting all of you, talking to all of you, and keep an eye out. There's more coming down the road.
Yeah, hopefully we have announcements very soon. But look for those Facebook groups or hit us up at Top 10 Live with the number 10 at Gmail. Top 10 Live at Gmail. The Top 10 Live at Gmail.
There you go. All right. We'll see you next time on the Top 10 Show.